So today the girls are going to interview me and they're going to be asking me what it's like to be a mummy. Because I think they know, but they don't know. They see that I'm busy. They see that I'm doing the laundry, the cleaning. You know, what they potentially have here on their hands is a butler, is a cook, is a cleaner. What else? Oh, I'm a taxi driver. What else? I am a referee. I'm an events organizer. What else? There's just so much. What else? I mean, they have everything at their fingertips, really, don't they, children? Nothing can prepare you for motherhood. So, Rose, take it away.
How do you cope with 3 children and a dog?
How do I cope with 3 children and a dog? Well, sometimes, Rose, I think to myself, I have no idea. I don't know sometimes. Do you know what? You just get on with it, and you have to just, if you stop moving, then that's when it becomes hard. So I think you've just got to keep on the go all the time. And do you know what, Rose? I enjoy it. I think you have to realise that this is your life and enjoy what you're doing. And do you think I enjoy having you all? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that makes a difference, doesn't it? I have to say it was harder when you were all babies than it is, you know, now.
What's the hardest part of being a mummy?
Right, I think the hardest part of being a mum with children this age is just keeping you all alive from the morning into the night, because like the awareness that you have when you're out, sometimes you just you'll just stroll into the middle of the road, you know, and I'm like, hey, you're in the road here, you know, get out of the road. Making sure you're aware, the awareness of what's around you, you know, and just teaching you life skills and about safety. I think that's the hardest part of being a mummy at this age for you, just teaching you morals, rights and wrongs, and like I said, just keeping you alive. So that's the hardest part. And the hardest part of being a mummy when you were all little is that I was quite lonely, you know, I didn't have anyone to talk to because you couldn't talk. Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. Yeah? It's just like I had nobody to have a conversation with in the day. So it's very important, I suppose, to have friends around you, or people. They don't even have to be friends. Just to be able to go out and join some kiddie clubs. And that's why I joined kiddie clubs.
What was it like when Tess was born?
So when Tess was born, that's my first child, Tess. So that was the hardest part ever. Because when I brought Tess home from the hospital, I just laid her down and I kind of expected that she was somebody else's, even though I'd just given birth, Rose. I actually thought, right, that's it. I'm not sure I have anything else to do. It felt very, very strange, and I loved her. I really, really loved her. But it was just the strangest thing, bringing this little baby home and just wondering what to do.
What was it like when I was born?
Oh, Rose, you know what? When Tess was 5 months old, I found out that I was pregnant with you. So everything happened so quickly, and so did you. You happened so quickly. So when you were born, I was still busy with Tess, and you were the most gorgeous little thing. They said, oh, Mrs. Decline, your baby has the longest eyelashes. And I was like, really? Oh, wow, well, that's great. But is she healthy? You know, is she a healthy baby? You were amazing, but you cried, Rose. You cried and you cried. And you'd wake Tess up, and then Tess would cry. So it was hard work, Rose. It was. But you were that most gorgeous baby.
What was it like when Ellen was born?
What was it like when Ellen was born? Okay, so when Ellen was born, it was not that yours wasn't amazing and not that Tess's birth wasn't amazing, but when I had Ellen, you were both little talkers. It was amazing. So you could understand me. It's like, they can understand. I would say, could you go and get a nappy for me? And you would go and get a nappy. You know, so things like that. Life was becoming good.
I remember that picture that Tess and me were just sitting down when Ellen was born, and we were like holding her.
Yeah, that's right. And you loved her so much. So everything came together. So motherhood a little bit before Ellen came was really hard, you know. I knew that it would get better. You have to know that it will get better. But when Ellen was born, you're right. It was, and I said to you, this is not just my baby. It's our baby, didn't I? I said, it's our baby. And we shared her. Yeah, so you were coming up to 3, Tess was coming up to 4. And this was just perfect because you understood. And I had a night in the hospital with Ellen. So I knew that you'd be happy at home with Daddy. And so I was able to stay there. I didn't feel that I had to rush home.
I got another question.
Okay, Rose.
What was it like when Daddy and you married?
You're so cute. Okay, so when Daddy and I married, it was amazing. I mean, it was the best day ever, ever, ever. I know people say that, don't they, all the time. It was the best day of my life. It was just a great day. We had all friends and family around. It wasn't a huge wedding. And I had Tess in my tummy. So I was pregnant with Tess. So I couldn't really have a glass of champagne. But it didn't matter. I was just happy. I was happy to be pregnant. I was happy that I'd found somebody to settle down with.
What is it like when I and Tess and Ellen be naughty?
What's it like when you're being naughty? You know, when you're not listening to me and I feel like I don't exist. Well, I guess I feel a little crazy sometimes when you're being like that. And, you know, it's all right. You're not naughty that often, Rose. So I can't really think. You're not really naughty that often.
What is it when we're whining for a toy?
When you're asking for a toy all the
Yeah.
time. Well, you know what? I don't mind buying you toys, Rose, and that's fine. But what I do mind is that you ask for these things, but you won't clear up your own stuff, you know? And I say that's what drives me, I think, the craziest. Clean up your stuff. Your toys are all over the
So
place.
you'll let me buy a toy today?
No, because you've not cleaned up your stuff. So no, I will not let you buy a toy today.
What is it like when your 3 kids cry at the same time?
It's quite overwhelming. It's overwhelming when you're all crying at the same time, and I just want to make sure that I can calm you down and find out, you know, because we've had it, haven't we, when you're all crying at the same time over something. And do you know what, I just take a deep breath and I just think, take a deep breath. This is going to stop in a minute. It's going to stop.
Do you remember that time we stayed at home?
What's it like having 3 sick kids at home? That day that you were all unwell. Was it the chicken pox? That one? I think it possibly was.
Or like the one when we were...
Were you all sick at the same time
So
once?
Tess and Ellen were first sick.
That's
and then
right, I
was
remember. It's relentless. It's like it goes on and on and on, and it's really hard because everything stops. You can't get on with things. The house is a mess because you're just looking after your children, which I have to look after my children. So it's but it's horrible to see you all unwell. Yeah, it's horrible. I just want you to be better.
When?
It's gone. It's gone. Right, okay. That was a big bee, wasn't it? I mean, we love bees. They make honey.
My phone?
And Tess is going to ask me a question. Yes, Tess.
Where did you find Daddy?
Where did I find Daddy? It's interesting, isn't it? Because you think you can just go out and there's a whole... Well, actually, you can just go out and there's a whole list. You can find people willy-nilly, but you don't want to...
would just go somewhere and then
And they're all lined up, and I just say,
no,
I'll
they'll
have
be
number
all
5.
shuffled in a circle.
What, the men?
Yeah, and then you
they were all turned around.
Oh, they were all turned around, like...
No, this is my idea. They were all turned around, and then you're like, I will pick
Number...
the one with the
scruffy hair.
scruffy hair.
Well, no, Tess...
Good job.
Okay, so I met Daddy when we were boarding a ship in Tower Bridge. So, yeah.
I have
near
another question.
Okay.
What did you think when you were having me? What did you think I was, a boy or a girl?
Well, I always thought I was...
What did Daddy think as well?
Okay, well, we thought you were probably going to be a boy. Because I first, before I had you guys, I
too.
thought I was going to have 3 boys. That's what I always thought. I thought I'll have 3 boys. What?
But
What
it's
do I
not
know?
true.
No. What do I know?
You had 3 girls.
I had 3 girls. 3 beautiful, lovely, loving girls.
And,
Mwah.
and one that likes boy stuff.
You like boys stuff, don't you? And you like...
I
well,
hate boy stuff.
you're very girly, aren't you, Ellen?
I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle of...
Before I loved boy stuff. Like Rose and me were like best buddies.
We were like, shall we buy this? Cause
Yeah, we were like best buddies.
and we were
We're still
always-
best buddies. But now I'm like
Because Tess and we always play
girly
together.
and
Paul
boy.
And what about you, Ellen? What do you like?
They always don't play with me. Tess always says, Rose, 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 Rose. And she doesn't say anything to me.
What do you like to play, Ellen?
I like to play with my Barbies with Tess and Rose.
You do, I know. Well, they're growing out of the Barbies a little bit, darling. So, and you're still in that age where you love Barbies. And guess who else likes Barbies?
Mommy.
Quite. You've seen me play with them.
Oh,
haven't
I know who
Pablo.
loves Barbies.
Oh,
Yeah, Pablo.
you? Oh, she does. He does.
Pablo has 2 of his own Barbies.
He chews their hands though. That's
Well,
how much he
I'll
loves
get
them.
Pablo's Barbie.
Go and get Pablo's Barbie. So Pablo's the
His
dog.
hands. So one finger has fallen off.
I mean, the struggle is real for these Barbies. Look at this one. Who was this? What's her name?
Her
Look at this.
name is
So-
Molly. This is Molly.
Look at Molly's feet.
So, look at her feet, chewed by Pablo. There's
Let
her
me bring
feet.
him out here.
And this is now
Go get Pablo then.
Pablo's.
Oh,
I'll
Tess
get
has
him.
gone to... No, she said she's going to go and get him. If I was delivered 3 children overnight, Rose, and they just randomly, and I had to start making 3 breakfasts, just bum, 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 and it would feel like a job, okay?
Barbie.
But I'm used to doing it, so...
Yes.
Oh. Ellen's taken mine.
Give it. Molly's head.
It's Molly.
Molly's the body.
I would forget that question then, I think.
How does it feel when you have to make 3 cakes for 3 birthdays like every year?
Okay, I enjoy baking. I enjoy making cakes.
And I sometimes help.
Yeah, you help.
If you see the 20 telepathy cake
Yes.
challenge, I help them.
You do help me. It's satisfying when it's done. Let's put it that way, Rose. It's satisfying. I feel great, but it's it's pressure. But I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, so it's great. Anyway, can I just thank you for this video today?
Yeah.
For the interview. Or you can thank me now. Look, here, use that.
Thank you very much for being here for the interview today.
And thank you.
Thanks for watching the Bubblicious family. Subscribe below and tell us. Wiggle, wiggle.